Hello, this is Teacher Alex, and this is a recording of me attempting to do our Sriyamas Year 10 HTML exercise, where I am going to create a Dota2 lookalike page to introduce myself, Teacher Alex, as a new character into the hero roster. So the first thing what we're going to do is we are going to identify the files that we're going to work with. Number one, we'll be working with the index file, which is a HTML file. Look over here, it says Chrome HTML document, which means that it's a HTML document. Use your eyes. Secondly, we have a CSS document called style. It's written there, CSS. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. So these are the two files that we're working with, okay? So we need to open this to in a web authoring software or web authoring application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this, highlighted these two files. I'm going to right click and click on edit with expression web. Now, Expression Web is going to load up, and then what we're going to see is we are going to see two tabs on top. Number one is called index.html, and second one is called style.css. Now, when we are working with index.html, notice that we will see three different tabs at the bottom, while if we open the CSS, none appears. Now, let me explain why. HTML is the object containing all the materials that we want. CSS documents basically applies a style to the HTML document. That's it. It makes it look pretty. So this is basically an ugly face, and style.css is the plastic surgeon that makes the ugly face handsome or pretty. Okay. Now we will primarily work with three views. Design view basically allows us to view actually what the reader is going to see later on their browser. The second one is split, where we will see both the code and the actual view that the reader is going to read later. And thirdly, strictly code. Now, I will only be attempting this exercise using primarily two views, design and code. Okay. Now, what we're going to do right now is we are going to duplicate style.css. We're going to make another copy and rename it. We're going to rename it as awesome.css. Yeah, okay. So how the heck do I do that? File, save as. Now in the same folder, I'm going to save it in the same folder. I'm going to rename this as awesome, and I'm going to change the type from web page to CSS. You got to make sure that you change it to CSS, okay? Or else it's not going to work. Now, I've already changed the name. Perfect. Fantastico. Okay. Now, moving on. I'm pretty sure you have a copy of the question somewhere. If you don't, well, you suck lah, okay? Go and find it, okay? Now, we are going to need to perform the following modifications to the style sheet. Oh, on another note, I'm going to upload this. A link will be available in the YouTube page. Okay, if you read on the comment section, okay, so that will literally unsuck you. Okay, we're gonna perform a few modifications. Now we need to assign a value of red 23, blue 25, and green 24 to the background color of the whole entire page. Now for the whole entire page, people. So if I click on index.html, I'm gonna convert this to code view. If you see way on the top there, your code starts with HTML, and then we've got the head. Now the head basically means that anything happens in the title, basically it's just a title lah, okay? Now the rest of the stuff that will be displayed, the stuff that you see here, okay, is shown anywhere below body, all the way to the bottom, okay? Now which translate to, if we go to the CSS, okay, which means that if we modify the selector that's named body, okay, any modification we do here will actually affect the whole page. So when the question requires us to change the background color of the whole entire page, this is where we are going to change it. Okay, now there are multiple methods for us to do this. We can either write the code like so, okay, background color, or if I'm not going to type the whole thing because I'm lazy, or what I can also do is I am going to do something easier. We are going to change things using the manage style sheet. So you're going to click on this tab called manage styles, okay, and you're going to see all the different CSS selector. Now CSS selector basically, like, again, let me explain. The CSS selector affects whatever that's written in the HTML. So for instance, any changes we do to the CSS selector of body will affect the whole entire body of the HTML page. Similarly, if we adjust the div selector, the items inside that selector, only those with the div tags inside our HTML will be affected. Okay, so we are going to now use my lazy method called the manage styles method. Okay, I'm going to go to manage style. If you don't see this, well, you probably have to click a few buttons at the top to find it. Okay, under the panels here. Okay, now make sure, here you go, this is a view of how my panels look like. Okay, now I'm going to find my body, right click, go to modify style. Now menu is going to appear. Now when the menu appears, this allows me to modify things such as font, arrangement, where if the text is centered and all that stuff. Okay, so in this instance here, I'm going to change the background color. So I'm going to click on background, and I see background color here. Ooh. Now they don't have the special method for me to enter the codes that I was given in the question. So I need to click on more colors, click on custom. Now I can type in the special numbers. Okay, red 23, green will be 24, and blue will be 25. Okay, so again, in IT, colors are basically a combination of R, G, and B, red, green, and blue. Okay, click OK, click OK. Okay, I'm not going to click apply yet because I've got other things to add in. Okay, so we are going to change the color of the font of the whole entire page. Okay, so I'm going to click on the font option. There's a font color there. Same method. Click custom. Now the numbers that were given to me was 93, 93, 93. Easy. Click OK. Click OK. Now moving on. For all the text within the body, we are going to provide a font type Arial. But if Arial is not found, we will use Helvetica, and finally a default sans serif font of the browser. So that is pretty easy. See, it says there, clear cut. Okay, pretty easy. Now we are then going to double check everything. I think it looks legit, pretty okay. Click apply, click OK. Right, that's it. We've modified without writing any code whatsoever. They've modified the code for us. Okay. Now, next portion of the question, it says that we are going to use the correct selector to manipulate the element with the ID outer box. Okay. Now, selector. What is a selector? A selector will be stuff like this inside our CSS. Okay. So we need to look for a selector called outer box. Oh shit, I found it. Okay. Now, we need to make sure that the page is centered and has a width of 98 pixels. So I'm going to click on outer box here, modify style. Now, I'm going to click on position. Now, position allows us to basically adjust the position of our items of our HTML on the page. Okay. So I click on position, and there's a position drop box here. Okay. Click that. Select relative. Relative means that it will adjust your web page relative to the screen resolution. Okay, so if the screen is say for example 1368 times 1024 or something like that lah. Okay, it will adjust to the to that resolution there, centering it. Okay. Now, secondly, the question requires us to adjust the width. The width is 984 pixels. This is to adjust only the width of outer box, anything inside outer box. Okay, so I'm just gonna type in 984 pixels is selected by default for me. Apply OK. Let's have a look at where outer box is in our code. Now, outer box, well, looks like outer box refers to necessarily inside the whole page, the body here. Okay, now done that, I need to make sure that I save this. Okay, I save my CSS and make sure that it looks good. Okay, done. Now I'm going to double check. I'm going to go to my folder. Yes, I've got everything. See where awesome appears there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to then attach this style sheet to our index.html. Okay, I'm going to go to design view. Now this is before we attach the style sheet. Okay, how do I know the style sheet is not attached here? It don't say so here lah. Duh. Okay, so click attach style sheet. It's going to ask me where the heck the style sheet is. Click browse. Okay, Now I'm gonna go look for my style sheet thing, if I can find it. Should be here somewhere. Ah, there we go. Okay, we'll open, click OK. Okay, bam, looks good. Okay, now seems legit. Let's save that. Now I want to see this in my browser. Okay, because in my view here it looks like, it looks a bit small. Okay, now you won't see this necessarily on your computer because I'm running this on a Mac. Okay, this is a window. This is a Parallels application here, so it might look a bit odd. Now let's go to Chrome. So I'm switching out Chrome. Okay, looks centered. This thing here, this is the outer box, 984 pixels. Okay, looks legit lah. Okay, looks pretty good. Now let's go back to our expression web and see what we got. Okay, now what we're gonna do right now is we are going to modify the page title to say hero Alex. Okay, the hell does that mean? So on top here, if you see here, okay, where my cursor is, it says index.html. We're gonna change that to hero Alex. Okay, so how the hell do I do that? Okay, very easy. Okay, go to the code. Go all the way up, look for title there. Okay, right, hero Alex, easy as that. Okay, I'm gonna save this, then I'm gonna go to my browser. I'm gonna refresh a little bit. There we go, you see the change right there. Okay, right up here you can see my cursor. Okay, now moving on, we are going to then find the division box with ID center content. The hell does that mean? Okay, step by step. Okay, now I'm going to read the question again. Okay, one whole, but we're going to break it down later. Okay, so we're going to find a division box with an ID called center content. We're going to then insert a heading one element with the texture Alex. Okay, now breaking it down, we're going to find the box, the division box with an ID of called center content. So division box looks something like this. Okay, something like this. Okay, but this is not what we're looking for. We are looking for center content. Okay, now center content is right here. Okay, now in an instance, if we can't find it, if let's say the web page is a little bit too big, okay, press Ctrl F on your keyboard and you should see this, and this will allow you to find whatever it is inside your code. Okay, so I found my center content. Now we need to insert a heading one element with the text Alex. Okay, let's break it down again. So basically, question wants me to write a text here. Okay, says Alex. Now I've done that, but the thing is, what does insert heading one element means? Insert heading one element basically means that I'm going to put like a style. Okay, it's a style. Okay, now how do I do that? First of all, I gotta save my file, or else, right, I will not have the option to select stuff on the top here. Okay, so I'm going to click save. Now this thing pops up. I'm going to click on the first one and I've got heading 1. Okay, now done. Bam, let's save. Okay, I'm going to go back to my browser and see what changes would be done. So there it is. Okay, this is what I did. Okay, now moving on, we are then going to find a division box with an ID hero top portrait container, inserting an image called alex_landscape.jpg from the img folder with a relative reference. Okay, and we're going to set the height of the image to 144 pixels, width of 256 pixels, and a ID called hero top portrait img. Okay, whoa, long, very confusing, scary. No, it's not. Okay, so we're going to do it again. We're going to break it down again. Okay, we're going to look for a division box with an ID called hero top portrait container. How the heck do I do that? Control F. Okay, hero top portrait container. Oh, found it for me. Okay, fantastic. Okay, close. Now, is it a division box? Yes, it has an ID of hero top portrait container. Fantastic. Now inside here, I need to put an image. How the heck do I do that? Very easy. I'll delete this word because I don't need it no more, right? There's an insert button here on the top. Click that. Wow, there is a picture. Click that. Click from file. Now I'm going to go and look for my folder called img. Okay, so let me look for it. There we go, img folder. We'll look for the portrait called alex_landscape. This is the one. Okay, Let me change it to medium icon so we can see what we're looking at. There we go. I'm going to click insert. Okay. Now, this thing's going to pop up. Okay. Now, what does it mean? Okay, so all you have to do is just type, okay, hero, top, portrait, img, and this box here called alternate text. Okay, so what does alternate text do? Okay, basically, if for any reason whatsoever the picture does not appear, this text will appear as a placeholder on the web page. So it gives the reader an idea that, oh, here there's a picture here. Okay, so that's it. That's all it means. Click OK. Now, done. Okay. Now, but then there's how can I modify the picture? Because the question requires us to change the height and the width of the picture. Okay. So we're gonna go to design view and see how our web page looks like. Okay, it looks like that. Okay. Now, if you see that my web page here, the picture does not fit into the box properly. Okay. So I'm going to click on a picture. Now, if I click on a picture correctly, IMG will be selected, okay? Because this is an image. So image short form for when we're talking about HTML code-wise, right? The text-wise, right? It's called IMG. So I'm going to right-click on a picture, and I should see picture properties. Now, picture properties here allows me to then click on the appearance tab, specify the size, okay? So I need to change the width. Let's see now. It's 256. But then, right, height, right, if you notice, right, changes by itself. Okay? So I'll try to attempt to change the 144 as required in the question. Now see that the width changed along with it. Now that's because we have aspect ratio selected. Unselect that, and we can independently adjust the width and the height. Click OK. Now it should fit in the box perfectly fine. Okay? Now, perfect. I'm going to save this and I'm going to go back to my browser and I'm going to refresh and let's see how it looks like. Okay, it looks fantastic. Perfecto. Now, we are then going to go find a division box with an ID of center call HR and we're going to insert a heading 3 element with the text overview. Easy. Okay, so we did it just now. So go back to the code again. I'm going to go, okay, I found it already. So center code HR, yeah. So in here, we are going to type the word overview. And then we are going to apply a heading element of, heading 3 element, I'm sorry, okay. So click on that, heading 3 element. So done, save it, and let's have a look in our page. So this is supposed to change right here. And there we go, cantik nya. Oh my god. Now, we're then going to move on to the next question. It says that we need to look for a division box with an ID of overview primary stats. The hell does that mean? Okay, let's look for overview primary stats. Oh, here we go. This is overview primary stats. Okay, now overview primary stats, we need to here insert a table with 3 rows and 4 columns. That is very, very easy. I'm going to remove the text because I don't need it anymore. Okay. So what am I going to do? On the top here, you should see a table tab, okay, or a button, okay, whatever that thing is called. And it says insert table. Click on that. This menu is going to pop up, and all you have to do is just type in whatever the question requires you to type in lah. Okay. So in this instance, you're going to look for a table with 3 rows and 4 columns. 3 rows and 4 columns. Okay. Then you're going to set the width of the table so that it fills up the entire web page. So it's already done for me, specify width at 100%, so it fills up the whole page. Okay. Now, how in this question here, it will fill up the outer box, basically that area that has been allocated to the table. Now, then we need to then apply a cell spacing of 2 pixels. Cell spacing of 2 pixels is done for us already. Fantastic. Click OK. Now, you should see this appear. Now, don't panic. Let me explain what it means, okay? So, I'm just going to write a few words here to demonstrate, okay? I am so sexy. Okay, then. Okay, I know this is not true, but I'm just demonstrating only, okay? So, now, in this instance right here, we'll save, and we're going to have a look at how our table looks like. Okay, I'm going to refresh my page. The table is going to appear right here. Okay, so I'm going to refresh my page. See that there? Now, it says, I am so sexy. Okay, yeah, look at me. Okay, I'm a sexy beast. Now, What that translates to in our code here, okay, let me explain. TR, the tag TR represents a row. Okay, a row is a horizontal line. TD represents a cell. So anything that I write in this cell here, okay, will appear within the confines of the row. So when I write this, I am so sexy, okay, I'm going to modify this some more, oh yeah. We should see it arranged in a horizontal line because it's a row. Let me refresh the page. And there we go. Okay? So that's what it basically means. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo all the sexiness that I've done just now. Okay? Because we are supposed to apply a class to the cells. Okay, what is a class? Okay, let me explain. Now, I'm going to use this guy here. Sorry, I'm going to use this guy here. Okay, this one here. Div class red box top. Okay, you got to find this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to paste it in one of my TDs. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I am going to get rid of that name. So what is a class? Okay. Now, a class basically means it is a specified location that is associated to a very specified selector in the CSS. Okay, let me demonstrate. Okay, so in this instance here, red box top. Let's look for red box top inside our CSS. Okay, I'm going to look for it from here. Red box top. I thought I saw it just now. Red box top. There we go. This is red box top. Okay, so red box top here. This is a class. Okay, so any thing that we've done on the red box top part, right, that belongs in this div here, right, we'll have this applied to it. Okay, so in this instance here, we are going to apply a class called icons. Okay, for the first cell, while the second cell, okay, for the second TD, will be given a class name of overview stat val. Okay, overview underscore stat val. Okay, and that repeats again in the second in the other two cells. Okay, and that repeats for the whole entire table, which I will now copy and paste. Okay, so what is this going to mean? This is going to mean that any item that we put inside this cell here will follow the measurements that has been presented to it under the icons selector inside our CSS. Okay, let's look for icons to just have an idea. Okay, icons, let's look for that. There we go. So inside the icons, we will have a width, the basically anything that we put inside there will have a width of 30 pixels and a padding to the right of 5 pixels and so forth. Okay, while overview stat val will have a font weight of bold and a font size of 14. Okay, so now, sorry, there we go. Now, we are going to then, what we're going to do is right now we are going to insert several things into our table. Okay, we're going to insert some pictures and we're going to insert some numbers. Okay, so I'm going to put the numbers first because it's easier for me. Okay, 9,000. Okay, 500. Now notice that I'm doing it in this manner. Why do I do this in this manner? Okay, it's because remember that there is a method to our chaos here. So TR represents row, yeah. TD represents cell. So we gotta follow the question and how we are supposed to present the table. Okay, so we don't simply put things. Okay, so first icon is called overview icon underscore int lah. Okay, so I'm gonna click insert picture from file. Okay, overview int insert. I don't need to put an alt text because they don't ask me to. Next one will be, now notice that I put it in between my div class. Okay, tags, yeah, in between. Now next one will be attack. Same process, attack, overview, attack. Okay. Then the next one will be AG. So for agility, so looks like I am not a very agile character. Overview RG, insert, click OK. Okay, next, speed. Okay, I'm not very fast as well. Yeah, I know, I'm fat. That's why. Speed, insert. Okay. Last row will be strength 200. Okay, I'm slightly stronger. Good, good. Strength. Yep. And the last one will be defense. Okay, looks like I'm a very defensive person. Okay. Defense, insert. Okay, done. Now I'm going to save this. I'll go to my browser. I'll refresh. And this is how it's supposed to look like. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, see the icons are all uniform. The the fonts are all very nice and uniform. Okay, so look good. Okay, now next we are going to then find a division box with an ID called BioInner, and we're going to insert a paragraph element taken from lipsum.com. Okay, so I'm going to look for BioInner. So now I can't be bothered looking for it like manually, so I'm going to use a Control F. BioInner. Oh, found it already. So in here, in this text here, insert text, I'm going to delete, clear this out. Okay, I'm going to have to insert some text from a random text generator from a website called lipsum.com. So how do I do that? Okay, let's go to lipsum.com. Lipsum.com. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab any old text. I don't really care. Okay, now I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna go back to my code, and within that line where I deleted, I'm gonna paste. Okay, now I'm gonna paste in the code lah. Okay, I'm not gonna paste in the design. I'm gonna paste in the code instead. Okay, next we're gonna apply a bold font effect to the text lorem ipsum in the new paragraph. So I'm gonna look for the text lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum. Click the bold button now. That's it. Easy as that. Okay, how could that be? Now, after the paragraph, oh right, I'm sorry, I missed something out, okay? So we need to apply a paragraph element to this line of text, okay? So I'm going to select that line of text, and I'm going to save it. Now, same process here, rather than choosing a heading, I'm going to select paragraph, okay? Now it looks good. Now, okay, it's a paragraph ready, okay? So let's see now. Yes, it looks like a paragraph, okay? Now, the next question, they want us to, let me see, after the paragraph element, we need to insert the text. This hero possesses the ability to summon the following heroes from the past. So after, okay? So I'm going to go and look for the line after my slash p. Why slash p? Slash p means it's the end of my paragraph, okay? I'm going to hit enter, okay? Now, there's a line here, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type whatever the question wants me to type just now. This hero possesses the ability to summon the following heroes from the past. Okay, and we're going to follow this by another list. Okay, how the hell do I do that? Okay, so I'm going to put a new line in, and I'm just going to give it a save first. Okay, now I'm going to save this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look. Okay, now what happened is I'm going to then put an unordered list here. Okay, let's have a look in our design. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, now if you see here, okay, I'm really sorry that it's a bit small. Okay, now let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm really sorry. I don't think I can zoom in. Okay, now if you see here, I've got all this stuff here. Okay, now the easiest way for me to create an unordered list is actually in my design view. Okay, I'm really sorry that you can't really see that well because I'm using parallels. Okay, let me see if this helps. No, it does not. Okay, give me a second. Right, so I think that should help a bit. Okay, that should help. Okay. Now, if you notice here, I've created this line. Okay. Now, what I need to do is I need to create an unordered list. Now, there are two types of lists. One is an ordered list. Ordered list basically means that it's listed with numbers and alphabets. Unordered will usually be represented by bullets. Okay. Now, so what do? I'm just going to hit enter. I'm going to write the Zhonghan. This is my first character lah. Okay, I'm going to select the Zhonghan. Okay, I'm going to highlight him. I'm going to click on the unordered list. Now you see this. This is the problem here. Okay, the problem here is that the whole thing becomes a list. Okay. Now the reason why this happens is because we did not specify whether it is a paragraph or it's a list. Okay. So how we're gonna adjust this, right, is actually quite fussy, but it's still doable lah. Okay, so I'm just gonna split this into two paragraphs. See that? Okay. Then I'm going to click on my unordered list. Now, so the Zhonghan right now is now an unordered list. I'm going to remove this space. Okay. Now, if I'm going to show you in the code, it's a little bit fussier lah. Okay. So this is the easiest way for us to do it. Okay. Next, the red eagle team. Next, the pigeon. Oops, that's not how you spell pigeon. Okay, now, that's it. Now, the next portion is we are going to then create a hyperlink for the text the Zhonghan so that it opens a file called hero2.html in a new tab with the name _hero. Okay, it looks and sounds very complicated, but it's not. Okay, first things first, we're going to create a hyperlink. Okay, breaking it down. So I'm going to highlight the word the Zhonghan. Okay, I'm going to right click and I'm going to click a hyperlink. Okay, now when I click on that, this thing's going to appear. I'm going to click on existing file or web page. Now, I need to create a link that opens a new window that's linked to Hero2. Okay, I have already selected Hero2. But then, how do I make sure that it opens a new tab or a new window? What I do is I select my web page, click target frame, make sure I select new window. New window would automatically means new tab. Okay. So don't worry about it, just select new window and this underscore blank would appear. Okay, so you can now then rename it to what the question requires, which is underscore hero. Don't worry that the selection disappears here. Okay, it's fine. Click OK, click OK. We've got a link already. Let's save. Let's have a look at our browser. I'm going to refresh the page. I'm going to scroll down. I've got a new link here. I'm going to click on that. There we go. Opens in a new page. Okay, that is my handsome, beautiful abang teacher Zhonghan. Okay, now moving on. We then need to make a hyperlink to an external web page. Okay, http ://www.yeely.com.my. Okay, so to the red eagle team. So I'm going to select the word red eagle team. Right click on my highlighted text hyperlink. Now instead of clicking all this nonsense here, just literally write http www.yeely.com.my. Easy as that. Okay, click OK. But save. I'll go to my browser again. I'm going to go back to my page. Red Eagle team becomes a link. I'm going to click. Now on the same page, it opens the web page to yeely.com.my that makes our Red Eagle brand cooking oil. Okay. Now, lastly, the pigeon will be a hyperlink that does not go to a web page, but it creates an email instead. So, There's some options here on the left hand side. Email address, no brainer, right? Email address. The email address I need to send this to is pigeon@sriyamas.edu.my. Subject, we need to write you are the last I seek. Okay, and then click OK, and that's it, done. We have a link. Oh no, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. I need to select the text. I did not do that. Okay, boys and girls, do not make my mistake because I suck. Now, do one more time. What's his face? Pigeon. My, you are the last I seek. Click OK. Now it is a link. Okay. Now I'm not gonna test this out because I know it's gonna work. Okay. Now, but just in case if you need to test whether it works or not, right? Very simple. Now there's a link here. If I put my cursor on the link, text is going to appear at the bottom. Okay, pay attention on the bottom here. It says mail to pigeon blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, similarly here to this hyperlinks here. Okay, you can have a look by placing your cursor on top of the hyperlink. Okay, simple as that. Now moving on, we are going to create something called an anchor. An anchor is a an invisible bookmark, if you would like, where you could place it at any location on your web page, and when you create a hyperlink, you can click on the hyperlink and it targets this bookmark. Okay, same thing as our bookmark in our books lah. It's basically the same idea. So how do we create this bookmark? Okay, so or an anchor in HTML terms. Okay, the correct term is going to be called an anchor. Okay, very simple. Now, here, if I have a quick look, right, see on the top here, we need to insert an anchor here. Okay, very easy. Okay, so I'm just going to select this text here. Okay, oh my goodness. Okay, I've selected the text here. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to get rid of the text. Okay, now text is invisible, but it is still at the top. Okay, let me just quickly undo. Let me repeat again. See, I'm just going to get rid of this text. Okay, delete, 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 delete. Okay, it's still there. It's just that the word doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so my cursor is still at the top. Okay, notice I'm still in the design view. Yeah. Now what do? Click insert. And there's a bookmark here. Click that, and we're gonna name bookmark as TOP. TOP top. Click OK. Now notice that something invisible appears at the top again. Okay, there's no text, we can't click on it, but it exists. Now we're going to go right to the bottom and we're going to look for a division box called red box bottom. Okay, so I'm going to look for a red box bottom. Red box, oh goodness, sorry, Control F, red box bottom. There we go. In here, we need to then insert a third level heading with the text called sorry, this is one of the class. Okay, let's have a look again. Red box. Oh, there we go. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Okay, so we need to put a anchor link here in this text here. Okay, so we need to first of all change this text to top of page. Lastly, I'm going to save. I'm going to then apply a heading 3 style to it. Okay, so heading 3, right? Then we're going to assign a hyperlink to it. Okay, now let's go back to my design. Let's have a look where it is. Oh, it's at the bottom here. Right click, hyperlink. Now, since we have created a bookmark, okay, and it is a place within the same document, I'm going to select the second option, and my bookmark is available for me to select. Click OK, and now this becomes a hyperlink. So let's have a look in my browser. I'll refresh my page. So I've got that. I'm going to click this and it brings me all the way to the top. Okay, so looks pretty good. Now, lastly, we need to set a few things. Okay, we need to set the text of the paragraph in the biography section to justify. Okay, now paragraph. Let's go to my, because any modifications to the styling has to be done in the style sheet. Okay, so I'm going to select my CSS. Now I'm going to look for the paragraph. Okay, now how do I identify where all this stuff belongs to? Okay, very simple. Okay, in the design view, I'm going to click on this paragraph here. Okay, now when I click on any element, right, let me click on some other things. Okay, if I click on this link, you see there's a bunch of stuff that appears here on the top. Okay, now if I click on the paragraph, see that there, this basically tells me any divisions or class that affects it. So in this case here, this is a paragraph that belongs in a division that has a name called bio inner. So this is my clue here, bio inner. Okay, so I'm going to go to C by awesome.css. I'm going to look for bio inner. Bio inner. Close. So we've got bio inner here. But the thing is, right, if I remember correctly in my index of HTML, there's a P. P represents the paragraph or the paragraphs. Okay, so any modification I need to do has to be done here because it says bio inner space P. So it affects the class called bio inner. Sorry, not class, division called bio inner, and affects the paragraph itself. So I need to modify stuff inside this bio inner space P selector. So I'm going to right click on my bio inner space P selector in my manage style panel here. Click modify style, and basically I need to then create a justified alignment. So select block, make sure it's at justify, click apply, click OK, and that's it. We are good to go. We'll save. I'm not going to see the effect of it because my text is too little. So let's give it a refresh. See, it's still the same because our text is the same. Okay, it's just too little to show. Now, done. Okay. We have now saved both style sheet and the HTML, okay, as what's required in the HTML exercise. Lastly, we need to learn how to print the style sheet, okay. Now, we're not actually going to print it per se, but we need to learn how to print it because in the IGCSE exam, we're going to have to print all our code out, okay. So how do I do that? Okay, now, some of you guys will say easy lah, just click file and print ma, correct or not? Now if I click and print right here, right, what's going to happen is just going to click and print this page. I need to print out the code. How do I click the print the code? Very simple. First of all, you select the code, okay, click on the code tab here, make sure that is selected. Okay, now we go like where am I going to write my name and class and all that stuff if I need to print it out? Okay, very good question. File. Before you click the print, there is a page setup. You select that and this menu is going to come up. So it allows you to change a few things. Say for example header and your footer. The footer basically you don't need to change anything lah. It records down the number of pages. Okay, so you need to write your name and your class at the top of every single page. Okay, so in the header you just basically write your name and your class lah. And then when you click OK, it will put it in there. Then you can print it. Okay, so I believe you just have to demonstrate that. Okay, so that's it. That's how we attempt our HTML exercise. Let's have a look of the end result. This is the top. This is the bottom. I've got 3 links. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so there you go. Good luck for your exam. Use this as a study guide, and yeah, good luck.